So it's raining out today, and we're doing a little bit of suturing practice. I've got here three pieces of banana peels. I've kind of taped them down, and we are going to make a nice little mat of banana peels using a fairly large suture. And you can see I'm going first, starting at one of the edges, going through one end. I'm going to tie this down, and then I will run the rest of my suture down the length of the banana through all three peels. That way they all come together very nicely. And a big part for me is I'm trying to practice to get better. And a big part for me is doing things kind of smoothly, all in one single movement. Mm, a big part in surgery is you realize that you want to go fast and you want to be fast. But the thing is, being smooth helps alleviate any unnecessary movements. It helps prevent you from having to redo something, like from having to cut out a bad knot and do it again. And here, as you can see, I am just kind of running down the entire length of the banana, and it's kind of an old banana peel, so you can see the suture kind of pulling through the peel. It's not the best material to suture on, whereas if you're doing this on skin, then it's not going to pull through the skin. The skin is much tougher, it has much better elasticity than the banana peel. And I was talking before, I played sports growing up, and I kind of noticed the same parallel in a sport like basketball, where your best players, they may not be the fastest, they may not be the quickest, they may not be the most explosive, although, being an explosive athlete is very helpful. But if you're smooth, you're able to get from one position to another efficiently without using an excessive amount of movement. Well, then that allows you to get to a place on the floor, create space on the floor much better than your opponents. And kind of the same thing in surgery. It's if you're able to do things smoothly, which I can tell you right now that I'm definitely not there yet. I'm not even close to being smooth and being able to operate well in the operating room. But that's the goal. It's to eliminate all that bad movement. And you see, I've kind of finished one side of the banana peels, and I'm just gonna cut this now. This was a running suture, so I'm gonna cut all three and move on to the other side. And you can see here I'm doing something called everting the wound edges, which means I'm kind of lifting it and pulling it back. That way my needle goes through the wound at a 90-degree angle, right? So it goes right, or actually it goes through the wound at a 90-degree angle, meaning it goes right perpendicular to the wound. That way it goes smoothly and I'm not pulling any of the tissue. And kind of same thing here. I'm going to tie this down, just cut one end of the knot, and I will continue along the rest of this banana peel. It's been quite a relaxing day here in New York. I am currently on break from work, which is nice, which is why I get to spend time to do things like this. But given that I'm fairly early onto my training, I don't have too much time in the OR, in the operating room yet. So I try to do things at home to practice, and this is one of those ways. Though banana peels aren't the best thing to work with, you make do with what you have. And also, I do like to make videos because then it lets me see what I'm doing right or wrong. It lets you guys tell me how you think I'm doing, and it also lets me helps me make new friends. So it's a good thing. Anyway, I'm just continuing down the length of this banana peel. As you can tell, it's difficult when there's no assistant. If there was an assistant with me, they would be doing something called to help run the stitch, which means they would hold the ends in one position while I suture. That way it doesn't get in my way. But as you can see, that doesn't exist today, so I'm using this scissor. I'm using the scissor to kind of keep the suture nice and flat while I continue down the length of the banana peel. And in the end, we'll have a nice mat banana peel that I don't even know what I'll do with it, probably absolutely nothing. But it's good practice. And as you can see, I'm still continuing down the length, and the goal is always to take bites. A bite is where you enter the needle. So to take small bites, meaning to not grab too much of the tissue, and to leave equal distance between the bites, meaning that, each distance as I'm coming down this banana peel, I'm going about the same. And then as I get to the end, I'm going to do the same thing here before, where I just tie off the suture, tie off this running stitch, and complete my 3 stitches. And that'll be my quick practice for today. It's something to keep my hands moving while I'm not in the operating room. And I'm going to cut the tail of this. That way you take the needle off, everything is nice and clean, and I can show you guys the finished product of what we have here. So let's untape all this, get all the dirty stuff off the banana peel, and here you go. 3 pieces together. I can hang this as an ornament. No, I won't. Anyway, thank you.